Hello everyone and welcome to our second part of water treatment. In first part we have seen what is impurities and what are the different types of impurities present into the natural water. In today's part we are going to see the types of water. According to this concept there are the two types of water, that is soft water and hard water. And for distinguish between the soft water and hard water, that is soap test it is recommended. Okay. That is, what is the soft water? The water which forms lather or foam to the soap or detergent, that is known as a soft water. म्हणजेच काय, ज्या पाण्यामध्ये आपण साबण किंवा डिटर्जंट मिक्स केल्यानंतर जर त्याला फेस येत असेल तर त्याला आपण काय म्हणायचं, सॉफ्ट वॉटर. Example of soft water, that is the best example of soft water, that is the rain water, and second it is the distilled water, it is also the example of soft water. In this case what happens, जेव्हा आपण कपडे भिजवत असताना पाण्यामध्ये आपण डिटर्जंट टाकतो आणि जेव्हा हात त्याच्यामध्ये आपण शेक करतो त्यावेळी जर का त्या पाण्याला फेस आला तर समजायचं की ते पाणी काय सॉफ्ट वॉटर आहे. ओके, त्याच्यासाठी आपली केमिकल टेस्ट आहे, दॅट इज द सोप. C70H35COONA means it is the sodium, this is the sodium salt of any fatty acid. Instead of sodium we can take potassium also. Okay, the name of the soap, that is the, it also known as a sodium stearate. Sodium salt of any fatty acid, whenever it comes in the contact with or react with the water, हे वॉटर म्हणजे कुठलं, सॉफ्ट वॉटर आहे. तर इथं जेव्हा ह्या सॉफ्ट वॉटर बरोबर साबण रिॲक्ट होतं त्यावेळी तिथे आपल्याला सॉल्युबल ऍसिड मिळतो. या सॉल्युबल ऍसिडमुळे त्या पाण्याला, साबणाला फेस तयार होतो. दॅट्स व्हाय इट इज नोन ॲज अ सॉफ्ट वॉटर. म्हणजे ज्या पाण्याला डिटर्जंट घातल्यानंतर फेस तयार होतो त्या पाण्याला आपण सॉफ्ट वॉटर म्हणतो. ओके, आता आपण बघूया हार्ड वॉटर. हार्ड वॉटर म्हणजे काय, द वॉटर विच डज नॉट फॉर्म लेदर और फोम टू द सोप और डिटर्जंट, दॅट इज नोन ॲज अ हार्ड वॉटर. ओके, ही डेफिनेशन, हार्ड वॉटरची डेफिनेशन आपण दोन्ही प्रकारे करू शकतो. हार्ड वॉटर म्हणजे त्याची फिजिकल डेफिनेशन एक होऊ शकते आणि केमिकल डेफिनेशन एक होऊ शकते. फिजिकल डेफिनेशन म्हणजे काय, जे आपल्याला दिसतं त्याच्यावरून आपण जे डेफिनेशन करतो त्याला आपण फिजिकल डेफिनेशन म्हणतो. जसं की आपण समजा हार्ड वॉटरमध्ये आपण डिटर्जंट टाकलं किंवा लिक्विड सोप टाकला तर काय होतं, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याला इट डज नॉट गिव्ह एनी लेदर और द फोम. Instead of the leather or the foam, it forms the precipitate. It is also known as a scum. म्हणजे जेव्हा आपण पाणी, कपडे जर समजा हार्ड वॉटरमध्ये आपण कपडे धुत असेल किंवा साबणाने आपण फेस करत असेल, धुतल्यानंतर आपल्याला काय होतं, आउटलेटच्या तिथे आपल्याला एक पांढऱ्या प्रकारचा प्रेसिपिटेट म्हणजेच त्याला म्हणतात स्कम, म्हणजेच ते एक पांढऱ्या प्रकारच्या साईसारखा पदार्थ दिसतो, त्याला आपण स्कम म्हणतो. ओके, पण हे कशामुळे होतं, बिकॉज ड्यू टू प्रेझेन्स ऑफ कॅल्शियम अँड मॅग्नेशियम सॉल्ट्स विदिन द वॉटर. त्या पाण्यामध्ये कॅल्शियम आणि मॅग्नेशियमचे जर का सॉल्ट असतील तर त्या पाण्यामध्ये फेस तयार होण्याच्या ऐवजी त्याच्यामध्ये काय तयार होतं, तर त्याच्यामध्ये स्कम किंवा प्रेसिपिटेट तयार होतो. ते आपण एका रिॲक्शनच्या फॉर्ममध्ये बघूया. आताच मी मगाशी सांगितलं होतं की सोप मीन्स व्हॉट, sodium or potassium salt of any fatty acid. Again I have taken the example sodium salt of any fatty acid. This is also known as a sodium stearate. Sodium stearate. Okay. Whenever this sodium stearate reacts with the salts present into the hard water, I have taken the example of calcium chloride. Calcium, the salt, it is present into the hard water. इथं काय होतं, इथे फोम किंवा लेदर तयार होण्याच्या ऐवजी इथं तयार होतं कॅल्शियम सॉल्ट ऑफ फॅटी ॲसिड. ओके, मग हे कॅल्शियम सॉल्ट ऑफ फॅटी ॲसिड तयार झाल्यामुळे किंवा ह्याला कॅल्शियम स्टिरेट म्हटलं तर याच्यामुळे काय होतं, त्या पाण्याला फेस तयार होत नाही तर तिथे हा स्कम तयार होतो. दॅट्स वाय this hard water does not gives leather or foam to the hard water. Okay, we seen that is the hard water. Hard water means what, which contains the sulfates and chlorides of calcium and magnesium. Okay, now we'll see how this water becomes hard. Okay, there is a main reason. Whenever the rainwater, that is H2O, absorbs the gases which is present into the atmosphere, just like as oxygen, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and even carbon dioxide. Okay, this water absorbs the carbon dioxide from the water, and now this turns into the carbonic acid. The water becomes acidic and it forms the carbonic acid. Water absorbs the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and this water becomes acidic. That acidity is known as carbonic acid. Whenever this acidic, and now the water becomes acidic. When this acidic water flows through the rocks, डोंगरदऱ्यातून जेव्हा ते पाणी जातं त्यावेळी what happens, that is rocks, it is nothing but there are the different types of rocks, that is igneous rock, metamorphic rock, limestone rock. But whenever this acidic water passes through the limestone, we'll take the example of limestone, that is the calcium carbonate. Limestone means it is the calcium carbonate. When this rainwater, that is acidic water, flows through this rock, there is the formation, this insoluble calcium carbonate converted into the soluble bicarbonate. Means these calcium carbonates are going to dissolve within the acidic water and there is the formation of calcium bicarbonate. This bicarbonate, it is going to be dissolved into the water. Okay, and it goes on and mix within the soil. Okay, and we know that in soil there are already chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium are present within that. Means along with this bicarbonate, the calcium chlorides, calcium sulfates, magnesium chloride and magnesium sulfate are going to be mixed within that water. That's why the water become hard. Up till now we have seen that is types of water and causes of hardness of water. Now we will see types of hardness. Actually there are the two types of hardness. First it is the temporary hardness and second one it is the permanent hardness. Okay, this temporary hardness is also known as a carbonate hardness because within that temporary hardness, some bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium are present within that. That's why they are known as a temporary hardness. This temporary hardness is caused due to the presence of calcium carbonate. We have to remember these examples: calcium carbonate, calcium bicarbonate, again magnesium carbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. Means this carbonate hardness, it is caused due to the presence of calcium carbonate, calcium bicarbonate, magnesium carbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. And that why it is called as temporary hardness? Because this type of hardness we can remove this by simple boiling method. What happens in boiling? This soluble bicarbonates gets decomposed to the insoluble carbonates. Okay, and that insoluble precipitate we can remove by the simple filtration method. Okay, I will show you with the reaction, that is calcium bicarbonate CaHCO3. Whenever we simply boils it, what happens in this case? These soluble bicarbonates are converted into the insoluble calcium carbonate. It is into the precipitate form and here carbon dioxide it is given out and water molecule it is remained there. Okay, means here in this case what happens? This bicarbonate it is decomposed to the insoluble calcium carbonate and this insoluble calcium carbonate, that is nothing but it is present into the precipitate form and this precipitate we can separate it or remove it by simple filtration method. Okay, means this hardness it is caused due to the some time, that's why it is known as a temporary hardness. Okay, now we will see the permanent hardness. Permanent hardness is also known as non-carbonate hardness. We seen that temporary hardness it is known as a carbonate hardness, and permanent hardness it is known as a non-carbonate hardness, because this hardness it is obtained due to the presence of chlorides and sulfates of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium, and even nitrates also present within that. Okay, that's why it is known as a non-carbonate hardness. Okay, this hardness cannot be removed by the simple boiling method. Okay, to remove the permanent hardness, different chemical techniques are used. That is there are the three types of techniques are present within that. That is the lime soda process. First process it is a lime soda process. Second one it is the zeolite process, and third one it is the ion exchange process. Means what? Temporary hardness we can remove by the simple boiling method, and to remove the permanent hardness we have to use these three separate techniques are there: lime soda process, zeolite process and ion exchange process. In next part we will see the ion exchange process to remove the permanent hardness. Thank you.